So the objectives were to translate the Ikigai 9 into English, and that included a back translation to
Mhm.
validate the Ikigai 9 in an English-speaking sample, and then delineate associations between Ikigai and state measures of mental well-being, depression, anxiety, and stress. So obviously you achieved the first two.
Yes.
Did you think you achieved the third?
So in terms of the third, just for the kind of listeners' benefit, I can very like shortly boil down the key findings. So what we tried to do was just do direct associations between ikigai and measures of general mental well-being, depression, anxiety, and stress. And what we kind of hypothesized was that if ikigai, or the sensations and the feelings of ikigai, was a sort of a master lock almost to very functional mental well-being, then we should see positive associations with good mental well-being, and negative associations with feelings of stress, anxiety, and depression. And what the results indicated was that the scores on Ikigai 9 had a very high predictability of strong mental well-being, which was great, and low scores on measures of depression, which is also great.
Great.
The interesting findings, however, is that we didn't find any associations between stress and anxiety
Mm-hmm.
with the Ikigai 9, which was quite unexpected.
Okay. Yeah. So why do you think that's so? Like, it sounds like, okay, Ikigai is if you find Ikigai in your life, or you develop Ikigai, it can help with depression, and it obviously has all these positive psychological benefits. But you're saying from the research, from what we can tell, it's not going to help with anxiety and stress. Is that because anxiety or stress is usually related to specific things in life, meeting people, maybe presenting, whereas depression, it's very hard to find the cause, and sometimes there can be no cause.
Yeah, so I would say that's a perfect summation. So if we go and take that hypothetical pin out of the wall that we talked about earlier, we was very happy with the relationship between positive mental well-being, because it's almost as if it's like this resilient factor. And we really did expect the negative association with depression due to the previous literature regarding ikigai and suicide completion. Because as we know, depression is a huge precursor to suicide completion, sadly, and suicide attempts and suicide ideation. And the way in which we kind of describe these conflicting results with anxiety and stress is that depression seems to be more of a larger, more noticeable state in which somebody is in. Okay, so the common sort of qualitative feelings of depression are more than sort of negative thoughts, but they're also physical responses. Okay, that
Yeah.
people get fatigued, people can feel their heart, and they can feel this overwhelming sadness. Whereas, yes, that can manifest in anxiety and stress, but in the West, people are anxious and people are stressed all of the time.
Yeah.
People have such conflicting and demanding work schedules, which put them under immense stress, where they're working day in and day out just to complete their contracted hours. People have hectic lifestyles where they might be a single parent, or they might be a parent in a kind of dual relationship, but they've got to work, and then they've got to look after kids, and then they've got to clean and make food. So people are constantly stressed, and so that could account for some of this variation. And then that's why it's really important that we very much in future research control the baseline situations that people are in. And that's a lot harder to do than it kind of is just by saying it, because what's stressful for you might not be stressful for me, which might not be stressful for somebody else.
Yeah.
So it's almost kind of like we need this isolated vacuum to thoroughly test this. But no, it was really interesting, and especially because the measures of depression, anxiety, and stress that we used are all sort of validated measures which have been around for years and years and years, and so we have very high faith that they are true recordings and true results.